kill anybody?
Yeah, you know we down for that 187, baby.
How much you trying to go for the kitty cat, huh? Cause I got the rock.
Say, mama, how much this party gonna cost?
Nothing, baby. It's on the state. LAPD. Pull over.
Anyone who's ever watched South Central can attest that Bobby Johnson is a product of his environment, who's been caught up in the system. But we've always wondered, what would his life be like if he didn't get arrested for killing the Kansas City Smack Man, aka Jeannie Lamp?
You don't fuck with Jeannie Lamp.
Well, watch this video and I'll show you. Now we're going to pinpoint the exact time where Bobby and Ray Ray plots to kill Jeannie Lamp and the rest of the crew over there, so they can save the neighborhood. As they get to the heat of the showdown, Jeannie Lamp grabs the gun from his deceased henchman and starts firing away, and he accidentally hits Bobby as an attempt to kill Ray Ray, which leads to Ray Ray killing the Kansas City Smack Man, aka Jeannie Lamp. Bobby is hit, but he's not dead. He ends up in the ICU, where Carol never visits him because she's too busy hitting that water.
Damn, what the fuck put it, man?
Put what, nigga?
Man, get water.
While Bobby is in the bed recovering from his gunshot wound, and by the time he comes to, the police are surrounding his bed asking him about Ray Ray. They said, "Hello, Mr. Johnson. Do you know where is Ray DeWitt located at?" And Bobby says, "I don't know who you talking about. Who is Ray DeWitt?" Because Ray Ray never handed Bobby the gun, the only trace that the cops could find from him is his blood from the crime scene. And well, they found the gun that Ray Ray killed Jeannie Lamp with, which leads the cops to assuming that Ray Ray shot Bobby in an attempted murder. But of course, you know, Bobby, he doesn't snitch, he doesn't testify, but the cops are after Ray Ray. And because of this, Deuce thinks that Bobby snitched and he gets ran off the set. After Bobby seeing the cops leaving his hospital after Ray Ray, he ends up leaving the hospital too, even though he's not in the best condition. But he still leaves the hospital because he wants to tell Ray Ray that the cops are after him. But the damage is already done, and Hoover Deuce doesn't want anything to do with Bobby because they think he snitched. Because of this, Bobby goes to Carol and Jimmy and tells them that they have to skip town. So they leave and go to San Bernardino and start their new lives in San Bernardino. Now, I know what y'all thinking. San Bernardino? That's only but like 50 miles away. You should go a little further than that, don't you think? You gotta understand, back then there wasn't hardly any internet and no legitimate form of social media whatsoever. As a matter of fact, if you wasn't rich, you didn't even have a personal computer in your house. So yeah, 10 years had passed and Carol is a full-fledged shermhead and Bobby is still holding down the household. Not to mention he's hiding from Ray Ray, which bothers him at one point. And Jimmy, he's actually a little bit more well-behaved than he was in the original plot, but he still gets in trouble in school. Or gets in trouble in general. I don't think he went to school in the original plot. And because of this, Bobby hears that Jimmy been acting up in class, and Bobby isn't pleased. So he gives Jimmy a lecture about his behavior. Now, I know what y'all thinking. If Bobby never went to jail and met Ali, why does he even care that Jimmy even gets in trouble in the first place? Well, if you've seen the original movie when Jimmy was a baby up until he was 10, you know, he seemed very concerned for Jimmy. And when he found out that Jimmy got shot and everything, like, you know, it really bothered him. Not to mention, he was pretty pissed off when he found out that Jimmy was stealing car stereos for Ray Ray.
Hell, Ray Ray got your boy out there stealing stereo. What?
And at this point of this tangent that I'm talking about, you know, Bobby gets to realize that being in the gang has caused him and his family nothing but trouble. Troubles of which that he doesn't want Jimmy to be a part of. During the lecture, he tells Jimmy not to make the same mistakes that he did. And he's counting on him to break the generational curse because his dad was a gangbanger and so on and so forth. As they're having this conversation, a friend of Ray Ray named B-Lo, who lives in San Bernardino, you know, he gives Ray Ray a call about Bobby. Oh, and by the way, there isn't no B-Lo in the original Tanny. I just totally made that up. And he says, yo, cuz, you remember you told me about the story of Bobby Johnson? And Ray Ray says, you mean that nigga that I treated like family and he go talk to the pigs? He said, yeah, he got a son named Jimmy, right? You know, he dating that one shermhead bitch named Carol. Yeah, so what up? Nigga across the street from me, dog. Well, I guess Deuce is gonna make a trip to San Bernardino. Later on that week, Bobby goes out for a walk and he sees a familiar face. It is Loco, who appears to be strung out on PCP. He tells Bobby that he made the right choice by snitching because Ray Ray doesn't care about the hood at all. Bobby told Loco that he never snitched on Ray Ray to begin with. And he said, what does you mean that Ray Ray doesn't care about the hood? Loco says that Ray Ray is on the come up and is not letting his hood eat. And Loco also revealed that he was ran off the set too. Bobby says, wow, Loco, I didn't know that, man. Thanks for the drop. As Bobby make it back home, he sees that Jimmy is being held hostage by Ray Ray. And he says, badass Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. Look at you now, snitch. Bobby says, Ray Ray, what are you doing here? And why do you have my son? And Ray Ray says, I'm going to give you what you deserve for giving me up to the pigs. Bobby says, do what you got to do, Ray Ray. But let Jimmy go now. Now, Bobby and Ray Ray are both in the standoff. Then out of nowhere, Loco comes from the back door and kills Ray Ray. And then later on, after he kills Ray Ray, he put the gun to his head and says, bye, Bobby, and shot himself in the head. And after all of this, Jimmy learns a valuable lesson about the major consequences of street life. And Bobby also learned that you can't run from your problems and that you don't need the gang to show that you're a real man that can stand on his own. So Jimmy and Bobby, they both moved back to LA. And 2 weeks after that, Hoover Deuce, they began doing right by the community. Nah, I'm just playing. You know Hoover Deuce is still causing crimes in the streets. But anyways, man, that's all I got for y'all for right now, man. Let me know what you think about the video. You know, I think I might either do Juice or Minister Society next time. But anyways, this is your boy Perfect Cell, and I'm Ghost. One love.
Sweet Mary.